Hello and welcome back to the Olympic Oval for more mass start action here this afternoon. We have two final races at the Oval International Competition. Competition has been running since Thursday. On the line here, getting ready to go is the ladies Oval International mass start race. They will be racing over 10 laps. The first lap is a neutral lap. That means that no skater is allowed to take off from the pack. The pack must stay together. Following that lap, the gun will go, and they will race for 9 laps. And so they're receiving final instructions from the referee. Getting ready to go to the line. We have 14 skaters racing in this race. So as they come over to the line, it's Chloe Beauchesne, Jasmine Chase, Danielle Dumuchel, Rosanne Grenier, Danica Grierson, Kirsten Hagen, Ashley Hanna, Molly Johnson, Connie Kapak, Rose La Liberté Roy, Zuzana Nedeljakova, Cassidy Peterson, Olivia Scott, and Lily Weidman. As the skaters line up on the line for the start of this 10-lap race. The first lap is a neutral lap, so the skaters really just stand up and start gliding. No one wants to waste any energy. At the conclusion of this lap, the race will truly begin in earnest. As they meander around that inner lane of the track in the mass start race, skaters race right on the line. They race right against the rope, the inner lane of the ice surface. And so skaters just chatting there, no one making a move here. This is the slowest first lap I have ever seen in the mass start competition. They will get going in a lap. Skaters should be careful. If they're caught standing up as someone takes off, they might have to close a gap or get stuck behind. And it looks like, okay, I guess we're going to start to skate. Here we go, 9 laps to go. The gun will go off, and the race starts for real. Taking the lead is Chloe Beauchesne and Jasmine Chase. So right up at the front of the pack. It looks like that is Chase leading the way, number 329 on her helmet cover. So Chase taking the early lead right behind her. It looks like it is Rose La Liberté Roy in second place. And they will come through. It's Rosanne Grenier leading with 8 laps remaining. Rose La Liberté Roy right behind her, Jasmine Chase in third. So as these ladies try and jockey for position, establish a good spot in the pack, they want to be ready for anything. General rule of thumb is if you want to win the race, you should stay in the top half of the pack for most of the laps. As we come through, 7 laps remaining. Still, les deux Québécoises qui mènent, it's La Liberté Roy et Rosanne Grenier à la tête de la course. Just behind them, Olivia Scott sneaking in there. As these skaters, Lily Weidman also getting in, trying to set up in a good spot. Still the two Quebec skaters. This is La Liberté Roy leading into the Prime lap. Winner of this lap will take home 5 points. See if anyone goes for it. At the finish line, the top 3 skaters will be the top 3 on the final ranking list. After that, though, the points earned throughout the race can matter a lot. And we've got a drag race here right to the line, right against the rope. And it looks like Connie Capac just took it over Cassidy Peterson. So Capac takes 5 points. Peterson takes 3. Scott takes 1. Oh, and there was a photo finish, so Cassidy Peterson actually took it over Connie Capac. It's a tight one, but the pack is back together. But things are becoming a little more chaotic as we get into the last half of the race. 4 laps remaining. Still at the front. Rosanne Grenier, Jasmine Chase is right there. So is Kirsten Hagen, Rosalie La Liberté, Olivia Scott. As they try and set up a pecking order leading into the final sprint laps. Right at the very front of the pack is Olivia Scott. As they swing wide, they're about 5 skaters wide with 3 laps remaining. In the inner lane, we have the 2 Quebecers. That's Grenier and La Liberté Roy. Olivia Scott out wide in the outer. And so we've got 2 groups of skaters, one wide, one tight. And that is Jasmine Chase now at the top of the race. Right behind her, Olivia Scott. So 2 laps remaining. The race is picking up. It's Chase, Capac, Scott with 2 to go. And the pack is thinning out. We've got a group of 6 at the very front. That's Chase, Capac, Scott, Hagen, Grenier, and Peterson. The race will likely play out between these 6 skaters as they come around into the bell lap. 500 meters remaining. And on the inner lane, coming around the outside, that's Olivia Scott making a move. Connie Capac right there as well. Into the backstretch. And it's Scott right at the front. Behind her, Connie Capac. Rosanne Grenier trying to keep up. But it's going to be Olivia Scott powering past the pack right to the line. She's going to win this mass start race in first place. Right behind her, Connie Capac. Rosanne Grenier comes up third. Cassidy Peterson in fourth. So, a 10-lap race. Olivia Scott took it with a fast final lap, sprinting ahead of everyone else. Connie Capac comes in second. Rosanne Grenier en troisième. And now we will await the start of our final mass start event. That will be in 5 minutes. That is the men's Oval International Mass Start race. That race will feature 18 skaters, including a number of international skaters. Oliver Lindenskov from Denmark, Thomas Melin from France, and Inigo Vidondo from Spain. They'll be joined by a number of Canadian skaters. So we are now awaiting the start of our men's Oval International Mass Start race in 5 minutes. Skaters are just on the edge of the ice. taking off their guards, getting a little instruction from the referees. Earlier today in the men's and ladies 1500 meter fall World Cup selections, first place in those two events were taken by a pair of skaters from Ottawa, Yvanie Blondin and Vincent Dehayet. Both skaters posting exceptionally fast times as well. The other fall selections event today was the mass start, only about a half an hour ago. Those two races were won by Blondin, who took home 2 gold medals today, and Christopher Fiola with a dashing sprint in the last 100 meters to capture the men's mass start race. And so now we see our group of Oval International Mass Start men, 18 of them lining up for this 10-lap race. There will be 1 preem lap. That will be on lap 5. The first person to cross on that lap will take home 5 points. Second place 2, or second place 3, third place 1. At the line, the winner will take home 50. As these guys set up, the referee will have informed them of the rules. Those rules are that the skaters must skate or may skate on the rope, meaning they have access to the entire ice surface. If they are lapped, they must stand up and retire to the edge of the ice. So any lapped skaters are disqualified. Skaters also must wear protective equipment. This equipment is very similar to short track equipment, meaning they wear a helmet, they wear safety glasses, neck guards, cut-proof suits, and cut-proof gloves, as well as shin guards and knee pads. The mass start is the only long track race which is raced in groups, meaning that the result is not based off time, but rather over finishing position. It should be an exciting race with 18 men racing this afternoon for this 10-lap race. 10 laps is a short mass start event. The typical mass start event is 16 laps. Expect quick races from the likes of Tamami Lin, Inigo Vidondo, but it really is anyone's race here. The mass start is always interesting. Some skaters play it safe and sit in the pack the whole race, hoping that there is a final sprint at the finish. Other skaters will attempt to take off from the pack early and open a big gap. We'll see what kind of strategy we see here today, as this start is faster than the ladies' event. As they get going, the first lap is a neutral lap. No skaters are allowed to take off from the pack. The pack must remain together. So the skaters trying to establish where they will sit in the pack as the race gets going in 1 lap. So skaters trying to set up here. That's number 283 at the head of the race. So as they come around, that gun goes, the race begins in earnest now. On the far outside, that was Jonah Urtsubiz with the early lead. But he swung wide. He's going to cede that front position, try and get a bit of draft. as they get going, we've got a skater in an Olympic oval suit up at the front, but he's now passed as this race starts fairly quick with 8 laps remaining. Leading with 8 to go, it's Caleb Mueller right behind him, Oliver Lindenskov, Noah Bauma sitting in third right behind him. So keep an eye on Caleb Mueller right at the very front of the race. He has to be careful he doesn't waste too much energy. 10 laps is pretty short though. He comes through Inigo Vidondo sitting in third now. It's exactly where he wants to be with about 2 or 3 to go. This might be a little early, so it's 7 laps to go. It is still Mueller, then Lindenskov, then Vidondo. Laxton and Bauma are right there as well. Zachary Lacroix is there. We've got a crash in that corner. Looks like the skater went down on their own. So one skater going down. His race is over. The rest of the pack will continue as they come around. Caleb Mueller still leading the way as the bell rings. Preem lap. This is Matthew Laxton making a move. Mueller trying to hang on. So Laxton going for those preem points as the pack spreads out. Vidondo trying to hang on. And there's our skater who crashed earlier. He looks like he's going to try and close out the race. Don't forget, he cannot get lapped. And Matthew Laxton relaxed for a moment, and it looks like he gave up the lead there after all that work. Vidondo took the preem points. Caleb Mueller was second, Laxton in third. And Mueller and Laxton are still trying to go for it. Mueller has spent more than half of the race sitting on the front. Could pay off for him if he can drain the energy out of the rest of the pack. And Mueller still leading right behind him. Laxton, Simon Coots behind him. So the pack is starting to thin out. We've got a few skaters dropping off the back as Laxton takes over the front of the course. So coming through, this is now Gibson Himbo taking over first. Simon Coots right there. Inigo Vidondo still hanging around that top 3 or 5 positions as the race is picking up, because when they come around, they will have 2 laps remaining. These skaters coming out of that corner. 2 to go at the head of the course. This is Gibson Himbo still holding on to that lead. Simon Coots right there. Inigo Vidondo as well. Christian Leipzig creeping up. And on the backstretch, when they come around, they will have 500 meters remaining. This is when the sprint begins. Gibson Himbo on that tight inner lane in the Canadian short track suit, making a move. Can he hang on as Vidondo's going to try and pass him on the outside? Vidondo's going to go around on the outside as they lap a skater. Got a big crash in the back corner. All 3 skaters going down together. They look like they are okay as Vidondo is going to carry his lead right into the finish. And we've got a race for second place. Gibson Himbo right there. Coots is there as well, as Vidondo will take first at the line. Right behind him, Eric Orlowski and Gibson Himbo. We've got Laxton down after the finish line. So some fireworks in the last 2 laps as Vidondo, who sat near the front the entire race, takes it on the sprint lap. Eric Orlowski was second, Gibson Himbo third, Caleb Mueller fourth, and Matthew Laxton fifth. So thank you for tuning in throughout this weekend and throughout the day today at this Olympic Oval International and Fall World Cup selection event. We saw some great performances throughout the weekend, lots of personal bests. Some of the fastest Canadian times ever skated, a Canadian record in the 10,000 meter. Big personal bests from a number of other high-profile athletes. From everyone in the broadcast booth and at the Olympic Oval, I'd like to thank you for watching and participating on the chat. Tune back in December for the Canadian Olympic Trials. Always exciting every 4 years to see the best skaters in the country compete for a chance to represent Canada at the biggest international event there is, the Olympic Games. So once again, thanks a lot, and I'd like to have you tune back in again.